Are you feeling confused when you're looking at paint videos? Do this, don't do this, do that, epoxy, etch, remove paint, don't remove paint, 800 grit, 1000 grit, sandblast, paint stripper. I'm YouTube taught myself, and boy, I've been confused so many times because different painters tend to contradict each other all the time. But over time, I've come to conclusions. In this video, I will share some of my insights, and there is a simple answer. I will give 3 valuable pieces of advice in this video, so stay with me. From time to time, I get comments like, why don't you do this instead? Or why did you do that? And I appreciate that. A great example is what grit to use when you're stripping paints or in between coats. Some say that you should not use anything below 400 as it will damage your frame. Others use 80 grit. Another example is what primer to use. I've seen people use 1K, 2K, epoxy, etch, adhesion promoter, polyester, but what is correct? Well, there is a simple answer. None of them are, or all of them. You see, painting is not an exact science, and there may be many ways to do the same thing that renders the same results or different results, depending on a huge number of factors. So what one guy says may be the result of many years of experience of doing just that. And it works for him or her because of the skills they have, and because the products they are using in that environment allows for it. If someone else follows their instructions, maybe he or she gets a completely different result. So painting a bike is a lottery? Well, not really. But there is not one formula that applies to everything. So here are 3 very important tips that will help you if you're about to paint your first bike, or second, or third. Do a lot of research and use many different sources. No one will do exactly the project you're doing in that environment, but by studying many different painters, you will get a better idea and a grip of how you should do it. Make tests and practice. On test tubes, you get to try out your color combinations, you get to test spraying techniques and patterns, you get to test your paint so it doesn't react with the primer or the clear coat. In that way, you get a glimpse on what your project will look like once you're done, and you can make adjustments if you don't like it. And you get to make your mistakes in training, not on your real project. Read the instructions and technical data sheet that comes with the paint. Or even better, read it before you buy. That is a gold mine with valuable information on the particular paint, and it will help you to combine the different paints for different layers. So what is your biggest question mark in the paint process? Let us know in the comment section below. I will try to read and guide you as good as I can, so let us know. Painting a bike is not rocket science, but it does take a lot of time and dedication. But do you have what it takes to paint a bike? Check out this video to find out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next DIY bike project. Cheers.